everybody. My name is Chad, and I'm addicted to fire porn. But I've watched a lot, and you don't see people actually fess up to some of the lessons learned that things didn't go so smooth. So I'm going to do that, starting with this interaction right here.
Hey Chad.
Yeah.
Is this one right here?
Yep, this side. I'm going to do a 360 real quick.
Obviously, there's a lot going on when you're walking up, but I might have misinterpreted the question. It could have been, did he know where the fire was? And I should have clarified. While that's usually not an issue with indicators that you can use on the roof, usually isn't 100% of the time, and I rarely make videos where everything goes well and there's nothing to learn from. So check it out, fires in the Bravo Charlie corner, rear bedroom. It's good info to know, but next level would be going, hey, it's about 6 to 8 feet from that rear wall, puts me in the center of the room. So knowing that information, going up top, I can go from the back wall 6 to 8 feet, and that puts us in center. Another good situational awareness thing would be realizing that these two buildings mirror each other. So the Bravo exposure has doors and windows that line up exactly with the main building involved, and which would also mean that up on the roof, I could look down and see, hey, here's where the window is on that one. We're standing right where we should be. This was also an opportunity for me to communicate to them exact location of the fire, and I didn't do that, so I really wasn't setting them up for success. Yeah, and just to drive something home, footing a ladder should really be done. Safe practice, right? But if you look around and there's no one there and you got to go up, just be mindful. Don't touch those rungs above that roof line too far, because it's going to go about as pretty as me jumping on a teeter-totter with a 4-year-old on the other end. Those were some of my key takeaways. Let's talk to Scott Mackey, who was actually featured on another Fire Minute, which was about, it's called Did You Blow Through That Rafter? And it's about this termite-ridden rafter that he happened to go through and absolutely did not feel. So here's another one that Scotty didn't have the easiest time with. First off, Scotty, I recognize this is a challenging roof, and I appreciate you sharing the challenges that you have, because when you cut really nice holes, I don't seem to post those, but there's not as much to learn. So thank you for sharing and letting other people grow from this experience.
Well, thanks. I'm happy to share. I think it's good with some of the roofs that I've cut on to show some of the curveballs that I've been thrown. So this is just another example of going up to the roof with a plan and the roof having a different plan for you. What I noticed initially on my top cut, other than the roof material being very hard to cut through, is that I wasn't hitting any rafters, because there were none. The roof was 2x6 solid wood, tongue and groove, supported only by bearing walls, which I found on my down cut. We ended up rolling one of the bearing walls, so instead of committing to a larger hole, we stopped with a smaller hole to see and assess what we were cutting over.
And if you haven't picked up the gist of this Fire Minute, we're not exactly patting ourselves on the back. Here's a good example, though, of how useful it is when you throw up that aerial and use it for lighting at night. If you can tell here, I have a shot of before and after that sticks up, and it's pretty dramatic how much different the lighting is with that being in use. There were some other good takeaways from this, especially from the perspective of the firefighter on the hook, and that was TJ Kieran. So let's hear what he has to offer. Okay, a little bit of background. TJ is on C Division with me, a different crew, however. And TJ's been at this station a lot longer, worked on trucks more than I have. He's been on a lot of roofs, cut a lot of holes, and I'm interested to hear what his perspective on this. So, TJ, go ahead.
Yeah, what's great about being here is you get the experience to make those mistakes and learn from. This is definitely a roof that threw us off. Leading up to it, I saw the fire blowing out that Bravo side in the rear. It being back there a ways, I was able to ask Chad, hey, is this the right building? Or I didn't know if there was a separate building behind it. But leading out, you can see behind me on the building on the Bravo side exposure, that window. That's something I missed. Leading out, I saw the vent pipes, and I thought that if we were going to be to the left of those vent pipes, we'd be good. Obviously, where we cut was over that bathroom. Afterwards, looking back at it, you can see the bedroom window, which is where we should have cut, about 3 to 4 feet to our left. The second thing was the roof construction itself. As you can see, there's no rafters, as Scott had mentioned, and that definitely threw us for a loop. The support wall went all the way up to the ceiling with no attic space. So it definitely presented a challenge.
All right, Scott and TJ, thank you very much for sharing those takeaways. One last talking point I wanted to share that was on this fire was if you're pulling that second line and you're not sure, wait for your partner to scope it out and see if that second line that's being pulled, like right there, if that's necessarily the best place. Because in this case, his partner went around and found better access on the side and actually could have given the first in a run for their money on getting water on that fire. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this week's Fire Minute.
Group from Division 2, go ahead and cut that hole. Work on the hole. For Division 2. Go for IC.